Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, strap yourselves in. It's time for your Tilton Talk Show.
We are the lads from the Tilton. We'll support you till the end of the day. We're so happy following the blues. We love you, what more can we say? Birmingham City, down at St Andrews, we are all supporters of our team. We chant of Super Blues, ringing all around. Now all you blue boys know what we mean. We are the lads from the Tilton. We'll support you till the end of the day.
Are you all right, Nick?
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Tilton Talk Show. It's Monday evening. It's 6:30 through till God knows what time, because I can't remember now, because you've made it all strange for me, because I've always, the patter has been there for years, and now it's all changed. 6:30 through till 8, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be with you talking about Birmingham City Football Club, anything to do with the Blues, and we are, of course, sponsored by Ball Sports, principal sponsor of Birmingham City Football Club. Thank you very much, and I'm going to introduce you to the team tonight. Chairman of the board, Mr. One and only Alan Watland.
Woo, woo, woo.
Happy regards from the sunny Sussex seaside.
Ooh, seaside.
Lots of S's in there, wasn't
Sussex seaside.
Lots of S's in there, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Okay. Mr. Fix, I don't know if he's got his microphone on. I think it's a little red nod. Oh, no, it's he hasn't got his blue sky anymore. Look at him. He's out in the grey. Hey, the one and only Craig Courtney.
Yeah, I know. Look, it's a bit of cloud this time, but yeah, welcome all.
Yeah. And congratulations to Mark Andrew Adams, 17 years married to that lovely wife of yours, mate. God bless you both. And you're still suffering from the old Rona, I hear. So get well soon. You won't be at the game tonight. If anybody sees him at the game tomorrow, keep away.
Him. Yeah, just keep away.
That's just drop you in it, isn't it, kid? Hey.
I'll keep away.
Mark Adams, ladies and gents.
Evening, everybody.
Right.
Can I just say, though, we're not married. We're living in sin. Yeah, we're not married. I need to be sure.
You wait till Jesus finds out.
Yeah, the baby Jesus.
You wait till the wrath of Jesus comes down upon you.
Forgive us, Mary. Forgive us.
Oh, you've sinned. Our resident savant, the one and only Mr. Paul Hipkiss.
Evening all.
Evening. Yeah.
Is that it?
Can't be asked.
Good evening all. Or should we say at you, kid?
Ooh.
Should we say what? He's looking at you, kid.
He's still got a beard. It's growing longer and longer. He is going to be Father Christmas come the 20th of December. Oh, that's my birthday. I've never mentioned it before, have I?
No,
he's going to be Santa Claus. I promise you, he's going to be, because there's no way we're going to go 10 unbeaten. Not looking like that, mate. So the one and only. He's got his bucket ready under the desk in case he gets caught a bit short. Ladies and gents, my old mate Chrissy Bro.
Good evening. Oh, that's better.
Now, do you think you can go the whole evening, Chris, without doing it?
No.
Nick, we've got the first question of the evening. I've got to raise it now, just while it's fresh in my mind. But there's a bit of a poll that wants to know if people think that Chris Browne actually looks like George Clooney. Linda said no.
Clooney. Hang on.
George Clooney, eh?
George Clooney. It's more like one of the Dingles off Emmerdale.
I was thinking Action Man.
All right, I won't go there. I was going to interject there, but I really won't. I probably should, ladies and gentlemen. There you go. Right, okay. So it's no win for the Blues over the weekend and a game tomorrow night. Now, right, those that did watch it, what was your opinion, Mark? Can I have you first, mate?
I think it was just a throwback to last season. We looked pretty toothless, pretty blunt. For me, man of the match was Ruddy, and that says it all. Because if your goal is your man of the match, it speaks volumes that you've been under the cosh. We just looked completely clueless in the middle. The young lads, the game, overridden. There wasn't a lot of positives. Well, the only positive really is that Norwich lost there by the same score, and they're fresh down from the Prem. But I'm not going to slate the manager yet. I mean, it's far too early. I'm not going to slate anyone. It's just very disappointing, and it was a wake-up call as well.
Looking at the Huddersfield game the week before, we looked sharp. We looked on the ball. We took the game. Well, I don't quite get why there's such a disparity week by week.
It's very odd. I mean, especially. I mean, I know we lost on the penalties in the cup game, but even so, it's quite positive. And then all of a sudden, the outcry on social media. Oh, we're going to be in the bottom this year. We go down. It's just, I think everyone just needs to take a deep breath and relax a little bit.
How many deep breaths did they take last week when we were top of the league?
Yeah.
Let's put this to everybody. I mean, you would have taken 4 points from 3 games at the beginning of the season.
Definitely, Chris.
Yeah.
Definitely. And Cardiff are no mugs. They're a good footballing side. We went down to see them, was it the year before last? Whenever Linda gave me that poncho, I can't remember. Probably pre-COVID. And they were a good side then. And they're still a good side now. And we have got quite possibly not as good a side as we had last year. And that hurts.
Mm-hmm. Just to add to it, though, the refereeing has a lot to be desired.
It's awful.
2 terrible decisions. Firstly, Cardiff deserved a penalty. There's absolutely no doubt in it. We should have had one as well. But some of for me, jumping on a little bit of the I'm going to give the card for the sake of giving the card during the game. He actually spoilt it a little bit because he brandished them too early. So it then put a little bit of a stop on what should have been some of those sharp tackles that people like to see. And from both teams, wasn't just Birmingham. There were some dire decisions for Cardiff as well.
That'd be controversial.
Yeah, of course.
Please.
The one on Hogan wasn't a penalty for me. And I say that without my Blues hat on, obviously, but I just think it was a coming together. I don't think he deserved to be booked for diving. There's no way he dived. But I didn't think it was a penalty either. He just didn't trip him. It just kind of like just a coming together of the 2 players' legs, which caused him to go down. And you've seen them given, don't get me wrong. And I think they hit it on the head on commentary. Like, you wouldn't moan too much if you was giving it, but you wouldn't moan too much if you wasn't giving it either, sort of thing. It was like a 50-50 one. And,
do you know that, Paul, things happen at such speed in the Championship as well, right?
Yeah.
Perhaps not as clinical as the Premier League, but the speed that they're going at, how difficult is it for any official to just see everything that's going on?
I just think he didn't give theirs because he didn't give ours. And he just...
Yes, that's true.
And he just did it out, didn't he? And for me, being basically, trying to be sort of looking at it without my Blues hat on, I think, if I'm being totally honest, I think theirs was more of a penalty than ours, but it was more of a foul than ours, but it did look like it was slightly outside the box. It didn't look like it was fully. He went down inside the box, but he actually committed the foul, James did, just outside. So
I'm going to disagree with you, Paul. I think Hogan, he saw the bloke coming in and he had a little sidestep, pushed the ball on and caught and made the bloke make the contact. And, it was thigh to thigh, yes, didn't kick him.
No.
But I thought it was a clever piece of play from Hogan and definite penalty. I mean, when Hogan got up and, he got booked in the end, it was, you don't go that mad if you don't think, we don't criticise referees and players do, but you don't go that berserk if you don't think, you've been hard done by.
No. And at the end of the day...
But I thought the referee was appalling. I'd say 2 words about him. Headband.
I was going to say...
no.
Get a life.
What was that all about?
I think, for me, we're talking about Championship officials here, aren't we? And I've seen us have, like, stonewallers 10 times worse than the one on Saturday.
Oh, yeah, I would agree with that.
We haven't had them given. We still haven't had a penalty. So no way we were going to get that. Anyway...
The thing is, though, Paul, right? The Championship, to win the Championship or to go up through the playoffs in the Championship is the biggest prize in football around the world. We should have top quality referees making decisions on the pitch for these kind of games, well, for every game.
Yeah.
And if they can't do that, then we have VAR in the Championship to help them.
We
should, yeah. Do we think that would have been given then with VAR? Do you think he would have been asked to go and check it and then sort of overturn his decision? Is that what you think? Because I'm not so sure. No. I don't know. Well, that's what that's inside now. We'll never know.
Both of them would have been decided one way or the other. I think they both would have been given as fouls. The only question about their one was whether it happened in the box, and I saw it a few times, and I think again I'm looking slightly through rose-tinted glasses, thinking he was when the first contact was made, he was outside the box, but he was by the time he'd finished pushing him, he was inside the box. So that could have gone either way, but there's only a VAR would have. It would depend what he gave. If he'd have given a free kick, and they would have probably supported him in that. If he'd have given a penalty, they'd have probably supported him in that. As he gave nothing, well, we can only guess, can't we?
Yeah, we can. Yeah, quick straw poll, people out there. VAR in the Championship. All answer right is yes or no. 5 minutes. VAR in the Championship, yes or no. Try and catch them up, somebody, because I've got no access to.
No, I've already started.
All right, mate. Nice.
Bear in mind while you're thinking about it, last season we'd have been at least 8 points better off with it, in my opinion.
8 points.
I reckon 8 points. Yeah, I reckon 8 points.
That's going up material, isn't it?
I think we'd have been about probably 17th instead of 18th or whatever.
Yeah, we'd have well clear of relegation, worries.
Yeah.
Michael Wood says yes, it would. Pete Taylor says yes. Asher Ray says yes. And Michael Wood says both would have had a pen.
Yeah, Paul Lilly says no.
Yes. Paul Lilly, no. Mike Hoadley, yes. Carl Williams, yes. Trevor Priest, yes. So
it's overwhelmingly yes at the minute, then, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah. Yeah, but we've got the facilities in the Championship.
I'm not a fan. Yeah. I'm far from a fan of VAR though. That's the only thing for me. It's interpretation of another person looking at a camera. It still comes down to the fact of the ultimate referee sitting behind that screen has got to make the decision whether it was or wasn't a foul.
I have a simple solution.
What is the point? You're either paying
I have
a
a simple
pitch or
solution,
paying them behind the TV.
I have a simple solution. The VAR team is made up of me, you, Watto, Chris Browne, Paul Hipkiss, and Mark Adams. It's very simple. The solution is there. Look, a problem is just an answer without a solution, and I've just solved the problem. Why don't they listen to me?
I think, to be honest, now they've changed it, haven't they? So they get asked to go and check the monitor, don't they? Nobody makes a decision for the ref. They advise them to go and check, just double check what they've given, and then it gets overturned. Like West Ham's penalty yesterday at Forest, that wasn't given originally. And then obviously he was asked to go and check it after their player had dived and made a brilliant save with his. That kind of thing is what it's great for, because without it, you're getting ridiculous decisions like that. And with it, you're getting more right decisions than wrong decisions, in my opinion, anyway.
That's true.
I just think that players are walking off the pitch and fans are going home, having won or lost the game more fair and square with it than without it. And all I do know is that I wish we had it in Cardiff in 2001.
I get that, Paul. Right, but we've got people travelling from Birmingham and further afield to Cardiff, spending their incredibly hard-earned money in incredibly horrible, hard times, right? Still trying to support their football clubs, and they can't get it right.
No. But the speed, like you said, though, Nick, the speed of the game now, it's fast, and especially in the Prem as well. Obviously, it's even faster in the Prem, but the Championship's quick as well. And it just helps. It's like saying we should use an A to Z now instead of a sat nav, innit? Or a, you know what I mean? Or Waze or Google Maps. You know what I mean? You're going to use technology to help you to get somewhere easier, and that's exactly what it is.
Oh God! No, I'm not laughing at you, Paul. I promise you. It's just when you come out with that analogy,
you can't go backwards.
The A to Z.
I think that's a good analogy.
Ordnance survey.
That's what we're still doing in the Championship. We're using an A to Z when we could be using like a sat nav instead.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you, 100%. Sorry, you come out with the A to Z, and I thought it was hilarious, brilliant.
An A to Z with a hairband.
Just quickly say good evening to Michael Hill, who's watching us on YouTube, all the way from South Africa.
Hello, Michael, mate. How you doing?
I can't do South African accent.
You can do South Africa. South Africans talk like this, a little bit of kind of like,
South African.
not through their nose, not like I'm talking, no, but...
Sorry, Nick. For me, this 3-5-2, I can't stand it.
I can't stand it. 4-4-2. 4-4.
Mm.
Do you remember when Alex McLeish was playing that system, right?
4-4-2.
And then we shouted, and the whole ground was going 4-4-2. And he changed it, and we won the chuffing game.
Yeah, he's playing 4-2-3-1 a lot of the time, when he and 4-3-3 as well. But yeah, I think for me personally, it's not fair on Maxime Colin. He's a right back. He's not a right wing back. It's not fair on. It's not fair on to the other side. One can't really defend and got caught out. I mean, the goal was so avoidable. The lad who played the pass, there was nobody anywhere near him. We've got to be close than that off the ball. And then,
also, it's not fair to the supporters, mate, who are paying the money.
Yeah, and then the guy who runs through the back, obviously, Pacheta, is just in no man's land, and he doesn't even know he's there. And it's not. It's so hard to defend and attack in one position. And then obviously Colin loses his man on the other side, and he's got to tap in when the ball comes across. So it was almost 3 errors, one after the other, wasn't it? Really. But they were by far the better team. They had the better chances throughout the whole game, and we did have the odd sniff here and there, didn't we? But we never really posed a massive threat on them, did we? And that's what's.
There's nothing happening up front, was there?
Any Cardiff, I'm starting to hate it as an away ground because we always lose there.
Yeah, I know. Never seen us win there.
Nah, it's not on the new ground. Right?
No, but it's I don't know. It's I mean, to be fair to Cardiff, I think they'll have a good season. I think looking at top 8, I think.
Yeah. Adam Walsh here. This obsession with 3-5-2 is a night to watch.
Yeah.
Just buy fullbacks and wingers. Yeah, absolutely. Couldn't agree with you more, Adam.
Yeah, I completely agree.
And Maxime Colin is so much better at right back than right wing back.
Bit of stato here. Cardiff's 3 games previously to us, they beat Norwich 1-0. They lost 2-1 at Reading. They lost 3-0 at home to Portsmouth. Now, Norwich, that looks like a good result. Where are Norwich in the table? They're bottom. Right? So us going there, I'm thinking, we got to get something here, surely. And we didn't. And we never looked like getting anything. And that's what, I'm the world's worst, I'm up. We win a game, I'm up here, and when we lose, I'm down. I don't mind admitting it. And I've sat, thinking about this for 48 hours. And we suddenly lose a key player. Now, Woods wasn't in the team this time last year. Suddenly, he's been elevated to our key player, and then we lose him.
Yeah.
Well, he was the one, wasn't he, Alan? He was the one who pulled the strings, really. He got the ball and got
exactly. Exactly. And we've got a 19-year-old lad in his place. I'm not going to have a go at him.
No.
He worked his nuts off, but he wasn't a Ryan Woods, was he? Now, there's a lot of talk. Is
that another word for socks?
Pardon?
Is that another word for socks?
Sorry, what did I say?
Nuts.
Oh, nuts, yes. Peanut or
Dry roasted, please.
I never really disliked Woods at all.
No.
I mean,
we there's talk about is getting a player in who might just overcome, somebody else to get the ball to the wide people and the front two, because we didn't have that Saturday. Nobody made a pass forward. The couple of chances we did create were flick-ons, big long balls, flick on, and away we go. Yeah. And we never got a shot in. They were good chances. We never got a shot in. One good tackle and Hogan in the first half, and the foul, not foul, whatever. He never got a shot in, did he?
No.
Good point here from Ray Hobro. Sorry, 11 versus 11. You know who you're marking or marking when it kicks off. Forget formation.
The problem is, though, a 3-5-2 against the 4-3-3, what we had on Saturday, you're overrun on the flanks, ain't you? You got two against one basically on each side. Yeah. That's where and that pass over the top and down the channels was on every single time. He had to change that because we were getting absolutely destroyed by it. Yeah, they up like a hot knife through butter every time they went forward.
Well, if you push the two wing backs back to cover that, you got 5 at the back, and you got nobody breaking forward.
Which happened week after week last year, didn't it?
It did.
I don't like it. I'm a big England fan as well, and I hate it when England play it as well. I like it. You know, it's not just a Blues thing. I just don't like the formation. I just don't think it suits, you know, the players that we've got and the players that England have got either, to be honest.
Yeah.
So, you know.
I mean, look, we're all football managers. We're all amateur football managers. We are, right? Yeah. Because we say this, that, the other, But really, I mean, what is the solution?
The thing is, right, we've watched so many matches. We watched a lot more Birmingham City matches than any of our managers ever have. You know?
Yeah, cool.
Over the last 30 years going regular, you know, we've only tried.
Have you been regular for the last 30 years, Paul?
Yeah.
Sorry.
We've only started to try this formation really since Zola came in, haven't we?
It didn't work then, and it don't work now. So stop it and change it.
Nick, it did work. It worked against Huddersfield. We were phenomenal against Huddersfield playing that formation. And I think it does come down to the teams that you're playing and how they set up against you. Totally agree. It's not there for every single game. And 4-4-2 on Saturday would have been perfect because it would have combated what was going on and the way Cardiff got forwards. However, against teams that are like the likes of Huddersfield and, you know, Watford play 3-5-2. So tomorrow night, what are we going to do? I think we should be doing the same again.
Yeah.
Sorry, Nick. So
no, carry on, mate.
Mick Greaves, Blues have 2 quality wingers with Graham and Plachetta, 4-4-2, please. You know, I'm with 100%.
Sorry, Paul, to jump in. Does anyone know why Graham wasn't even on the bench on Saturday?
No.
No mention.
I hope we're not offloading him as well because he can deliver a ball. He's got quality.
That's what I'm worried about. You know, I've started to warm to. I think a lot of people have started to warm to Jordan, and he wasn't even on the bench. So I'm just wondering what.
It feels like we're going in the bargain basement here. We're trying to get rid of players, you know, that we've got and replace with players that ain't as good as what we had. And that was certainly the case with Ryan Woods on Saturday. I know the kid Chang is only a young kid and he's still learning his trade, obviously, and I don't want to be too hard on him, but he just wasn't quite ready for Cardiff away, was he? You know, and
do you think it's that we've stopped shopping at Fortnum and Mason and now we're like at Poundland?
I don't even think we're at Poundland, Nick.
Really? I think we're still at Aldi's. I don't think we've jumped to.
Don't knock Aldi's. They're building one here at the minute.
I love Aldi's.
If there are any players available in those little metal racks when I go in on the first time I buy them.
Yeah, I mean, you know, the kid Chang in the second half, he showed a bit of quality, didn't he, on the ball? You know, he got a few touches here and there and did quite well. And we cut him open in the first half with a lovely move, didn't we, when Hogan went through. It was a good challenge by their player, to be fair.
It was.
You know, and who's to say he wouldn't have buried that? Who knows? But, you know, we're showing signs of doing good things, but...
Sorry, Pete Dennis just said we're rifling through skips outside a building site.
Yeah, Can I say there is a bit of an elephant in the room regarding Deeney. What's people's views on Deeney?
I'm go on, Alan.
Okay.
Going to get an hour out of him every week. Good, bad, or indifferent. You know, he's never going to finish the games. But there's nobody giving him anything to work off. You know, he's a quality player. Okay, he's 30 odd, whatever. But he's still got his football brain, and he's still got those, you know, the old saying, the first yard of your pace is up here. Still got that. But
not down
I'm looking. What apart from one flick on, and that stupid referee gave, he beat the bloke perfectly, and the stupid referee gave a free kick. But nobody's feeding him anything. You know, they didn't let Bacuna get balls into the box because they jumped on him every time he got near it. And you know, if you're the chief scout of of Cardiff City, and you watch Birmingham's last 3 games, which they will have done, they come to, we've got to stop this bloke. And it made it even easier. Not having any support from Woods made it even easier for them to close him down, because they didn't have to run around trying to stop the other guy closing down. So what I mean? And it happens every year. We start a new manager and a new team every year, and we have a little bit of a gut start, and all the scouts say, see, Birmingham had a good start. Yeah, let's have a look. We're playing them next week. Bump. That's the problem. It was the same with Chong Tahi Chong last year.
Yeah, Pamela also says very poor since she's joined us.
That's right. Ran riot at Luton. Next game, I think we drew at home, because whoever would have been watching...
Do we start him tomorrow then, Alan?
Who?
Troy. Do we start him tomorrow?
Well, what's the alternative?
What's the alternative? I was going to say the same.
To be honest, Nick, I would against his old team. He's going to be, fired up. And nothing.
Well, Djukovic is the alternative, isn't he? But I think he gives us a lot of, obviously, puts his heart and soul into the shirt. Then he works hard, certainly off the ball, because that's what he's spending most of the time doing, isn't it? He's working off the ball. He's not got a lot of service in there. But I think, I think it could come really good for us if we get the right players around him. But what's worrying me is, obviously, we haven't got any funds, have we, to do anything? And in this formation, he's a bit isolated up there with Hogan, isn't he? Like he was on Saturday a bit. And I just think if we'd have had Harry Kane up there, to be honest, on Saturday, it wouldn't have made much difference.
Wouldn't have made no difference.
There's a couple of comments that have come in, which I think sum it up beautifully. And the first one was from Paul Lillo. You've got to give Cardiff credit because they marked us in the game and pressed us into mistakes. And Mike Woods, it's really true. Cardiff, as he put it, bluesed us.
I saw
they got it spot on. They got what we wanted and we should actually have been doing.
Sorry, Craig. Most games are won and lost in midfield, aren't they? And we were completely outclassed and outbattled and outfought in midfield. They completely steamrolled us in midfield, and we just couldn't get the ball.
So, Paul, what do we do to shore that up tomorrow night and to prevent Watford?
What if
putting us certainly well into the bottom half of the league again?
If Bielik or Gardner aren't fit tomorrow night, then go and get Ryan Woods back from Hull, cancel the transfer, and put the shirt back on him and put him out there tomorrow night. That's what I say, because otherwise we couldn't have that problem again.
Yeah. I mean, I must admit, for Chang to get 2 games in a row like that, good little player, but very young, and I was surprised to see him start on Saturday.
How old is he, Mark?
He's only
18, isn't he?
18, yeah.
18.
Because we're missing Gardner as well. Gardner could slot into that spot.
He's fit now as well, isn't he?
Well, hopefully they might send him
fit or match fit, though, Chris. There's a big old difference out there.
Yeah.
Well, if you read my article last week, I'd have questioned that. Do these guys not train? Are they not running to the ground every day?
Mind you,
it should be a relief, not a burden.
Alan, I'm sure Chris Browne runs his staff into the ground.
I do, yeah. I actually beat him with a stick. Actually,
I saw the company stick on the table. That was so.
That really is. That's the Pokemon. That's the Pokemon when they come in.
Going back to the young lads from the academy, I've got to give Josh Williams credit because he looked really good when he came.
I was just about to say that. He looked really good.
Mark Brooks mentioning it here, and great point. He's got pace. He's got trickery. He looks like he's got. And don't get me wrong, I'm not being too critical on Chang. I just think it was a big ask.
Big ask, yeah.
2 games, yeah.
Then again, Paul, we'll get a youngster like that, right? He'll come in, he'll play 6 blinders, and somebody will go, "Hey, I'm having you, son."
Well,
Birmingham City, because we've got no money and no resources. We just go,
Yeah.
Well, we're in a good position, Nick, because at the end of the day, they've all just signed contracts, and we are not a buying club. We are a selling club. So if somebody comes along, for whoever it is, with silly money, we are not going to turn it down. We can't afford to turn it down.
Craig, do you think, Craig, it was silly money for
anyone we bought?
No, help me out here, people.
I don't know.
Harry Maguire.
No, went to
Joe Francis.
No, went to Germany.
Tarantino.
Bellingham. Yeah.
Do I think Bellingham was silly money?
Silly money. Silly money for Bellingham. He's going to go probably for about 125 million.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Why couldn't we just hold him for another year?
Because we wouldn't have got it.
We don't have the funds.
He's the best player by a country mile I've ever seen from our academy in my life. Obviously, Trevor was before my time, but there's no way we could have kept him. He was the best player on the by a mile against the team that were top of the league that season. Never mind anybody else.
Did anybody see the fact that our academy was number one ranked in the EFL and sixth in the country?
Yeah, pretty good.
Yet we get downgraded. How does that work?
Yeah, it's a bit of a comeback, isn't it? Yeah.
Why did we get downgraded then?
Downgraded, I think, was
probably because the sauna, wasn't built, or the corner flags weren't high enough, or something. It's got nothing to do with football.
Downgraded. All right. Does that mean that the lads are turning up like first thing in the morning and used to have like a fruit breakfast? They just get a bit of porridge now. Is that what it is?
No. Well, no. It's just a rubber stamp. We're not a Category 1 academy anymore.
Nobody likes us, Alan. Nobody. We're hated worse than Millwall. We're hated worse than Leeds. We're hated worse than everybody. I promise you that, mate. I promise you.
Pete Taylor says he wouldn't be worth 125 million if he wasn't playing in the top league and for England. Jude was cheap as chips, says Michael Wood.
He was cheap as chips.
We're downgraded due to not enough investment, says Pete Taylor. And Lee Harvey says James nearly cost the game. Got long way to go.
Is Jude the most expensive transfer from the Championship, is he? Or has someone gone for more than that?
Good question.
Yeah. Can't think of anybody.
I can't think of anybody that's gone for more than Jude.
No, I can't.
And I think we've got a sell-on clause as well, haven't we? So we will get. Is it 10%?
Yeah,
10%.
I don't think anybody's gone from the Championship for more than Che Adams went.
Che Adams, no, that's right. I think we've took both.
I did see somebody's interested in him. I'm sure we've got an add-on clause for him, please. If we have,
I think it's Forrest looking at him as well.
Is it Forrest? Yeah.
Forrest,
I know. Yeah. Well, if he went from us for 16, he's got to be worth 20 plus, hasn't he?
It's got to be. The add-on clause, though, Alan, is you've got to finish the ground off and make sure we've got Booker Pies for the next 8 years.
Didn't a defender go to Brighton for big money from? I'm trying to think now. There was I'm sure there was a champ. Was it Bristol City to Brighton? The centre back. I can't think of his name.
Centre back. Yeah. He might have done.
It was quite a lot of money, wasn't he? But I don't think anybody's gone for 26. It was 26 million when we got for Jude. Is that right?
Something like that. 30 with add-ons.
Yeah. Was it? Just going back to the academy.
What have we done with it though?
Exactly.
Ground's falling to bits. They've got no burger stalls outside.
He kept us afloat during COVID.
It's the facilities and investment and not following the protocols of Cat 1, etc. We have some great young players, have for a lot of years. It's a shame for all the staff and players because they do an amazing job.
I kind of couldn't echo that anymore. I think the youngsters are actually beginning to show now what they can do in the club as well. Whilst they're bedding in, they're going to make mistakes. But, if you don't play them, you never know whether they can cope or not.
No, that's right.
Sending somebody to a Division 1 team or a Division 2 for experience is great when they're really young. But if you want them to be in your first team, they've got to play Championship football.
Yeah.
Because we have lost some good people in that academy in recent years, like Robbo and Richard Beale, and you know what I mean, people like that as well. We have a few good people that have gone, isn't there? That I wish were still there, to be honest.
The business about this, lacking in investment. It's like it's easy to say, oh, Birmingham aren't putting enough money in. What's this money not going into? It's not going into, it's not, there's nothing wrong with our player development. There's nothing wrong with the people who coach. So the investment can only be in facilities, and that facilities could mean anything. We've got a super training ground. Yeah, the changing rooms apparently aren't up to much. So they come along with these don't compare to Tottenham Hotspur's changing facilities, and the gym's not as big, but you can get changed in a wooden box if you can play. It's bull basically.
Yeah. Paul Lilly's saying here, Nathan Ake from Bournemouth to Man City, 40 million. But I thought Bournemouth were in the Premier League when he went, but I could be wrong.
Who's that?
Nathan Ake, when he went from Bournemouth to Man City. I think they were in the.
The other thing with this Cat, the other thing with this Cat 1 situation is Swansea. Nobody ever mentions about the fact that Swansea went from Cat 1 down to Cat 2, the same, all through investments, and it was to do with the amount of money that they were putting into it rather than the level of players, and they're still turning out. Their youngsters are doing what ours are doing, really, at their club at the moment. So you don't hear about anything else. And to be honest, if it was going to cost us 3 or 4 million quid to stay in Cat 1, or we went Cat 2 and played some of our players, I'd much prefer to keep the 3 or 4 million quid and play the players.
I agree. I mean,
what a mess football is out. What a mess.
You're right.
I will say, though, if they pull this off and they get rid of the higher earners and they can make us better, on players on less money for, freebies and the odd loan, and, if we can climb up the league doing this, then I'll take my hat off to them, because let's face it, we have thrown money at it, haven't we, obviously, in recent years, and we haven't been any better off anyway, so they might as well offload the players that are on the higher wages and try and get other players. You can get 2 or 3 players in for the same wage as one of our players, can't you, and give that a go and see how we go?
Well, we do say, we say every week, don't we, Paul? We keep saying it. You don't need to spend a fortune in the Championship to get into the playoff places.
No.
You don't need to spend a fortune. Obviously, it helps to have a bit of money, but a lot of people think you have to throw a fortune at it. You don't have to. If you're clever, you can zoom up the league with, bargain basement signing, the freebies and all the rest of it.
All right, who's got the boots? Who's still got the boots? Because I sure haven't.
I think that's where a good manager comes in, isn't it, Mark?
Yeah, pretty much like when we had Bruce the first time round.
Yeah, a manager of people.
Yeah.
Mm.
And
can I just say 2 words? Manchester United.
Yeah.
Great example.
Going on there?
There's a great.
Sorry.
They're bottom of the Premier League, and that squad's worth 1.2 billion. Is it? Well, they spent
crazy money.
They spent 1.2. Sorry, they've spent 1.2 billion in the last 10 years, and they're bottom of the Premier League.
Yeah.
So
we spent £4.63 and 2 Booker pies.
They weren't finished bottom, obviously, but let's have a laugh while we can.
Paul, there's no giving in football. No way. I remember in the 70s when they got relegated, mate. And it was the funniest day of my life, I promise you.
It's quite funny how they're favourites to be like in the top 6, and Norwich are favourites to be, in the playoffs and upwards in the Championship, at the bottom of each league at the moment.
Yeah.
I think Man United are in some trouble. I do.
Well, yeah,
financially as well.
It makes me laugh though when you put Talk Sport on and you hear their fans whinging away in their Cockney accents.
Yeah.
And it's like, at the end of the day, you want to try. You think, you don't, half of them don't even know the way to Old Trafford.
No, that's right. Yeah.
No.
I agree. Ray says, people ask where the money from Bellingham went, but wages alone would have took most of his transfer. Plus, would need to pay off some loans to creditors.
Yeah. And just on the, we'll talk about high earners going out the door. How much people reading into the post from Etheridge's wife in regards to getting boxes ready to move house again? Because I personally, you might just be moving house and people are putting 2 together and making 5.
Well, he's just had a new.
Okay, look, you're in the profile, you're in the public domain. Please refrain from making comments like that, because
I think
it just winds everybody up. It gets people going, and it's destructive. Right? If Neil Etheridge is moving, if Neil Etheridge is moving from where he is to a nicer property next door, she should shut her mouth.
So what?
We think Etheridge is on more money than Ruddy.
Yes.
Oh, I would say so.
Absolutely. And I've
Definitely.
read that he's part of his contract. If he plays X number of games, obviously he missed a lot last year. If he reaches an X number of games, he's got to have a rise. So that's why he's in the team. You know, we did it with the other one that we had from Brighton. His wages were ridiculous, and then we just stopped playing him because we couldn't afford to pay him.
Yeah,
Browne, can I ask you a question? Chris Browne, can I ask you a question?
Of course, you can. Yep.
Yeah, right. Okay. So
communicating.
This is season 12 of the Tilton Talk Show, isn't it?
Cheers.
Season 12, right? So that means I've been turning up, not through COVID and this and that, every week for 12 years. Yeah. I've had a rise. I had a bag of wasabi peas once and a piece of toast.
I think that goes back to what I was just saying about offloading players on bigger money and bringing other players in on less. And I think Ruddy for Everidge is a good reply. They're both good goalkeepers, but I do think Ruddy edges it for me. And if you can get Ruddy for 12 grand a week less than Everidge, for example, then it's good business, isn't it?
He looks very confident, doesn't he? Very confident player.
Yeah,
on the ball.
Absolutely.
Wags, shut your mouth, Wags. Like nothing to do with you, right? Oh no, it's a difficult one. That's a difficult one because you've got your own personal social network sites, and I get this, right? Anybody got any boxes for? I get it because that happens to average people in the street, normal people that are up and down here. But if you knew Everidge's wife and you're on that much money, I think you could go out and buy a few boxes, couldn't you, sweetheart?
Probably.
You've got to take a lot of these things with a pinch of. I mean, we're all thinking, where's Woods gone? We've got a 19-year-old in it. The world's coming to an end, and then we find out that the reason he's gone is because we're going to replace him with somebody who may cost us a bit less, may cost us the same, but he's a better player. And this secrecy, why didn't he just come out and say, well, he's going there? And we've got our eye on somebody else to take his place. And then I wouldn't have had 48 hours of thinking, oh, bloody hell, where are we going to get a team from on Tuesday? Because we got 2 or 3 injuries and we got no centre halves and we got no midfield players and we've got 3 strikers, or most of whom are they're all over 30, aren't they?
Alan, have you actually been awake for 48 hours thinking about tomorrow night?
Not awake, but what do I dream about? What do I dream about, mate? When you think
I know what I'm bloody dreaming about.
I can go out in the sun now because it's too hot.
What? Stop your moaning. Stop it now.
I'm not
do
moaning.
not moan. No, do not moan about. Then it's not a heat wave. Do you know why it's not a heat
Do
wave?
you know all?
There's global warming. Do you know why? Because we called this summer when we were children. It was summer.
Yeah.
I couldn't agree more.
Ray!
I umpired a cricket match on Saturday, and I was on my feet in 35 degrees for 6 hours, right? And I was
right, okay. So that means
Sunday I spent most of the time in bed.
Well, you're an umpire, Alan. You're an umpire.
Yeah.
Umpire.
The match went. It's full length. And no time off. We had drinks intervals. We had water breaks. I finished up having 2 or 3 pints of lager afterwards just to get me. And I in that 6.5 hours, I never peed once.
Well done.
So that's how dehydrated I was.
Not that you noticed.
Here we go.
God.
Etheridge apparently
but
on
I'm
19k a week. 19k a week, Etheridge. Oof.
So let's say Ruddy's on 10, then there's 9 grand a week saved, don't they? And
Almost double, isn't it?
I will hope though is if he does go, then we do get a replacement for him, and we're not just hanging our hat on G-Cock. If
I genuinely detest footballers' wages. I detest footballers' wages. It is disgusting. What is going on in the world at the minute with food banks and this, that, and the other. And you get people that are earning stupid, ridiculous amounts of money. It is a disgrace. It's a disgusting blur on our
I'm going to say the same
national game.
The same for Bielik as well. And I hope we're not just hanging our hat on Bielik to play that defensive midfield role because, as good as he is when he plays, he's good, but he's just injury prone, isn't he? That's the problem.
Injury record, yeah. It's terrible, really, isn't it?
Very.
So we do need
this might
somebody.
be a bit contended. Dave Twine says the worst player I've ever seen down stands. Former Birmingham City midfielder Michael Sanjosi has announced his retirement from football.
Yeah.
He was bad as, he was
It wasn't the worst.
Was he
wasn't
that bad?
he wasn't as bad as Czech Endoy.
Oh, no.
Right, leave my check alone.
Yeah.
He'd probably be next to him though in my worst 11. But I don't think he was as bad. He was bad. I'll give him that though. He was bad.
Yeah, he was bad.
Yeah.
I saw that.
He has played though at a high level, and he's played for Spain.
Yeah.
He's played,
Liverpool.
in La Liga as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just don't think the Championship suited his game, did it? It was a bit too physical for him and too fast as well, probably.
I just hope the club will have a testimonial for him.
Retire his shirt. Retire the shirt.
Mark, going back to the academy, Mark Meredith says, we have the best academy players in the league by far. And players we brought in through in my lifetime, Redmond, Jude, Butland, are all great, are all Premier League players and played internationally. They're just four of a massive list of good young players. This is just a small part of our club being destroyed in Hong Kong. We've had some great players, haven't we, that have gone?
Haven't we just?
We have, but how many of them would we realistically have held on to?
None of them.
None of them. They were all going whether we were in financial trouble or not.
Yeah.
Craig, though, if I go back to the 70s, we held on to players back then. I never paid a pittance.
I think it was more of a,
We
there was more of a level playing field
where we were desperate for money all the time. When we had
Yeah.
Francis, we didn't have to sell Francis because we were broke.
No.
Fourth highest gates in the country,
Yep.
and sponsorship and whatever. Selling Francis took 10 years for him to go, and because he wanted to go, not because we needed the money. I mean, we spent the money on Colin Todd, Frank Worthington, Archie Gemmell, etc., etc., etc. And of course, that didn't work, did it? That they didn't produce what we wanted. So the £1 million went down the drain, really. Yeah. But we weren't suddenly bankrupt.
I think also, Alan, there wasn't as many rich clubs, was there? There was more of a level playing field then.
Yeah.
There wasn't rich clubs.
Yeah.
It's the difference. Money talks. I think Stephen Gels just made a really good point, and it's that it's not always the players and the clubs that are fleecing the clubs for money. Actually, a lot of it has to do with the agents nowadays.
I detest agents.
Definitely. Yeah.
All right, I've got one local to me here. He listens to the show sometimes, and I told him straight to his face. I said, "You're the scourge of football."
Anyway, Craig, you got the squad game ready?
Sorry, Paul. Are you trying to prevent me from getting garroted and killed tonight? There.
Also, Nick, we don't want to hear that joke again.
Which one?
Oh, yeah.
The one you told 2 weeks on the trot.
You can't remember what it is.
When he's on the motorway and yeah.
Oh yeah, passenger just on the left-hand side.
We don't want to hear that one again, right?
I'll tell you all about it, right? Okay.
No, where's the mute button?
So yeah, Paul, let's play squad game this week then, Craig.
I'm thinking I would give it a go myself, but I've chosen the squads. So who hasn't played recently?
I was last week.
Yeah, I was a week before.
I don't mind doing.
Here you go, people. Watch this.
I think it's got to be Nick.
I think it's Nick versus Paul.
No!
My money's
What?
on.
It's the only way. It's the only way. Come on.
Hateful man.
Nick v. Paul.
Absolutely hateful man. Me versus the savant of the whole of the world.
Nick, I got one.
Blimey.
I got one, Nick. You've got to beat me.
It'd be like England's San Marino.
I'm going to come over and kick your teeth in a minute. But that was a brilliant analogy, Mark. Well done.
Okay, then, Craig, should we get this on the go?
So firstly, who wants? That's Nick just thinking about going against Paul.
No, I can't help it. I'm shatting myself over this.
He's praying for his doorbell to ring now, ain't you, Nick?
It's a ring doorbell.
To go first.
Right. Well, let me calm down a minute.
Who's going first? Who's going first?
What year's the first one?
I'll tell you when you're going first. So
Should we
can't tell you until then.
Should we flip a coin?
Go on then. I'll flip it.
Tails never fail, so I'll say tails then.
All right, and I'll flip the coin. Hang on, let me just get the right screen on. There we go. What did you say, Paul?
Tails never fails.
It's heads.
You're going down. You're going down.
Do you want to go first, Nick? Or...
Right, I'm going to go second.
Okay,
So I know what
then.
I've got to catch up to.
Okay.
I hate you, Paul Hipkiss. I hate you.
I don't even know.
No, I hate you, the whole team. I hate all of you.
Okay,
You
let's have some
stitched me up.
concentration. Let's have some concentration. Go on, Craig.
Right, so the first squad is the 1993-94 season.
Oh, blimey. Okay.
Okay, on your marks, get set, go.
Kevin Miller, Scott Hiley, Paul Martin,
Newton.
John Frayne, Paul Tate, Paul
Christ almighty. I need a wee.
Nigel Gleghorn, Louis Donowa, struggling, David Renner, Simon Cook, John Gale,
Oh my God.
Paul Richard,
Time's up.
Oh, good.
And now,
How many you get
Nick,
on?
no
No
pressure
pressure.
here, mate,
Saturday-
but you
Saturday
need double
squad.
figures.
How many did Paul get? 10?
what did I get?
That was 10. That was 10, Paul. That's some going days.
Some guy. I thought it was 12. There we go.
Why are you why are you all picking on me? I don't even know what year it is now. Right, anyway, I'm trying my best. Right, hands free, so I'm not Googling. Yep.
Go on then. Yeah.
So, Nick,
Sharon's doing it for him.
your year is 1998 to 99.
I've got absolutely no chance.
And your marks, get set, go.
Chris Browne, Paul Hipkiss, Howard Kendall, George Best. I ain't got a clue. I just haven't got a clue.
It was a playoff year.
You rat bags, you stitched me up proper.
I think Trevor Francis's team.
Nigel Gleghorn, Trevor Francis, Steve Bruce. I've got
He's
one.
been there
I've got
every team,
one.
hasn't he? Go on, you got 4 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Chris, I don't even know what time I got up this morning.
Did he get any?
He scored the 0 that came before the 1. So unfortunately,
well done.
none there, Nick. But
That puts him at the bottom.
yeah,
I
at
think,
least you got the 0, Nick.
Yeah, well done.
Do you know what? It's a taking part of the games.
We've had half that team on the show, Nick.
Mate, I tell you, I promise you guys, my memory is just incomplete. That's it.
A few that you could have shouted out. So, Ian Bennett,
But I hope,
Kevin
though,
Paul-
Craig, I hope it was like 10 out of 10 for entertainment value, because I'm an entertainer rather than a
No.
questionnaire.
No, it wasn't. No.
You tried. But it is fair to say.
I said Howard Kendall.
Howard
Kendall. He must be nearly 100 now.
Go on, Craig.
Oh, brilliant.
Go on, Craig.
We've had, when we look at that particular squad for that season, you've had Ian Bennett on the show. We've had Jerry Gill, Martin Granger, Michael Johnson, Darren Purse. We've also had Brian Hughes. We've had Martin O'Connor, Dealey Adebola, Nicky Forster. So, you know, like you say, half of that squad's been on the show.
Yeah.
Poor. Nothing poor, just poor.
Problem is, I can't remember any of the interviews.
What interviews?
And now we move on to 11, don't we? We want a centre half now, the first centre back. So far we got Colin Doyle in goal and Jerry Gill.
Not being funny, Paul, but I just wanted the internet to go down then. Crack on, kid.
So yeah,
Okay.
so right back in goal we got Colin Doyle, right back we got Jerry Gill. So we need a centre back now, don't we? The first right-sided centre half to go next to Jerry Gill.
Yeah.
Okay,
so I'll just explain to everybody. This is our underrated 11. Our underrated. We've got the goalkeeper and we've got a right back, haven't we?
Yeah.
That's all we got so far, isn't it? Yeah.
And these are the players that you think didn't quite get the credit that they deserve when they wore a blue shirt. You know, they performed well, but didn't quite get the credit that they deserve.
I've got one player in mind who as a player, certainly was never underrated, but as a centre half, which he only did in emergencies, he never got the credit that he deserved, and that was Gary Rowett.
Yeah, he was a great player. He was.
As a centre half, people never gave him much credit for that, but he was as good a centre half as we've ever had, probably, in the probably dozen games that he played there.
Yeah. A couple of people have shouted out for Paul Marden.
Yeah, I just saw that. Yeah.
Can I just throw one in there? I know he left under a cloud, but I thought Vince Overson was fantastic.
Yeah.
He's a giant. He was.
I'll tell you who rarely gets mentioned, and he didn't play many games, but he was absolutely outstanding in the League Cup final, and that was Martin Jurek.
Yes.
Yeah.
That one tackle on that Bobby Moore tackle the first half.
Amazing. It was the closest thing I ever saw to Kenny Cunningham. He reminded me of him, the way he ran and everything. He wasn't as good off, but he just reminded me of him. Obviously, you can't say Roger Johnson because he was outstanding. You know, he gets the credit he deserves, doesn't he?
Holdsworth, for me, is going to be worth a shout.
David Holdsworth. Okay.
Yeah, I liked him. Yeah.
What about Joyedy?
Yeah, good shout.
What about Michael Morrison? Did he get the credit?
Yeah, good one. Joyedy is the only Birmingham player to win 100 international caps.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
What do you mean, Paul, is that right? Don't you know this? Crying out loud. What kind of a bloke are you, mate?
He knows nothing. He knows absolutely
caps as soon as he
Dave Twine says John Roberts. Mark Brooks says Mathewson. Another one for Gary Ablett as well.
Ablett's a good shout.
It's a good shout, isn't it? Yeah,
he was a great player. He was quality. Him and Bruce together that season were great. You know, and that's the kind of players you need in this league. You know, that experience.
We also have.
You know what, Brucey? What he did everything for Manchester United, didn't he? Right, never got called up for England. What a player! What an absolute legend of a player. Yeah, and then to never get that call up.
He was just around the same time for the central when he and Des Walker and people like that. You know.
Yeah. We do have a Stewart's inquiry regarding Nick's 1 to 11, Craig. Apparently,
have I scored 11?
Apparently, he did say Brucey.
I did say Brucey. Yeah.
He was manager of Huddersfield by then. And
he was. Yeah, he wasn't.
Oh, there you go. Sorry, I'm just don't shoot the messenger.
I'm going.
Oh, Stewart's inquiry. Whoever.
I'm not going to say it is. Not going to say it is because they might be embarrassed.
Bookies
you can't put it forward yourself, mate. You're not allowed.
It's set in stone now, I'm afraid. Okay,
you've all put me in a bad situation tonight. Now I'm going to be awake now, Alan, for the next 48 hours, worrying about this.
I was trying to scrape at least one for you, and it didn't work. Gary Ablett, another one for Gary Ablett.
You know what, Gary Ablett. Gary Ablett. Wow. You saw them streaks of black hair. You knew that Ablett was going to take you out, mate. I promise you. Brilliant player. Brilliant player.
Met him in W.H. Smith's Birmingham International Trade Station, says Pete Taylor. Another one for Yaronek.
I'll throw one in from the 60s, Dave Robinson.
Yeah. Okay, I don't remember, but there we go.
Isn't that like the orange juice makers?
Made his debut against the lot from down the road in a 4-0 win.
Oh, that'll do. Then he's a hero.
Is that underrated enough?
No, it's automatic hero.
Michael Johnson. Would we say Michael Johnson was underrated?
Yeah. Well,
you know what? I would, Chris, because there was a player who gave everything. Every game. I thought he was every rated. Game. Yeah. He gave everything. Jono was absolutely top draw.
Definitely.
I do think good player. Servo, didn't he? He was in, his pictures up on the wall in the Legends Lounge, isn't it?
Yeah,
definitely.
So my picture's going to be my picture's going to be in the Legends Lounge next week for only losing by 10.
Yeah.
I don't think pictures up on the Legends Lounge, do you?
No. David Davis, anyone?
Yeah, not centre half though.
Not centre half, yeah.
No, not really. No.
Are we talking digger?
We are.
That one that he did against the from up the road puts him there for me.
Yeah.
the one that Paul mentioned earlier in the quiz, in that narrow win over Nick.
I told you earlier I'll kick your teeth in. I will be over. I don't know whether you live in Coventry, Birmingham, or where, but like I'll just sit somewhere in the street and wait for you.
That was David Rennie.
Yeah,
David
great player.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but we have Stuart's inquiry number 2 regarding Nick's
Oh,
failed attempt.
you're a bunch of cheats. You're a bunch of cheats.
Apparently, now a certain person saying he started that season for us.
That certain person's causing trouble. And
Is he doing it on purpose?
Yeah,
I'm paying that certain person a lot of money. Shut up.
We can't scrape that one for you at all, can we?
Dave Twine with a great name to play there. Gary Breen.
Gary Breen.
Yeah, great player again. Yeah.
Gary Breen.
Yeah, Brucey played for us in 96-97 and 97-98. And then at the end of that season, he went, didn't he? He had a 2-year contract, didn't he, if I remember?
Did.
Yeah. He went to Sheffield United as player-manager, didn't he?
Yeah, he went to Sheffield United then the following season as player-manager.
Right. Who came in? Right. I was in Mallorca playing a game of pool at the time, right? When I got to hear that Steve Bruce had signed for Birmingham City, along with the lad from Chelsea. What was his name?
Paul Furlong,
yeah. And another one.
Gary Ablett.
Ablett signed at the same time.
3 of them, right? And I'm sitting in Mallorca playing a game of pool, and I'm thinking, I need to be back home right now. This is like never happened to me before, not ever.
I know you told us, Nick.
Stephen Gill makes a good point here. Andy Edwards, he was a good player. Do you remember him?
Yep.
Andy Edwards.
Yeah.
Someone from Plymouth, didn't we?
And Ray Hodro with Tiny Taylor. That's
Tiny
another
Taylor,
good shout for a player that's underrated at the club.
With whom, sorry?
Tiny Taylor. Martin Taylor.
Martin,
And
What about,
Andy Edwards.
What about
Andy
Frank-
Edwards.
Yeah, sorry,
go on.
No, go on.
I say Andy Edwards, I used to have £2 on him every week to score the first goal at 50-1. And the only time he ever scored the first goal was in Italy at Ancona, and there wasn't a bookie in sight.
The Battle of Ancona.
And that, of course, ladies and gents, is another story.
It is,
for another day.
Oh, I like that. I like that from Michael Woods. Dave Barnett. No, he was quality.
Yeah.
He's a great player.
Number one for me. Yeah, absolutely.
Hard as nails, he wasn't he? Hard as nails.
Okay, right. I need concentration there. Right, Ancona.
Yeah.
Was that Terry Cooper as manager?
No, Barry Frost.
It was Bazza, wasn't it? Yeah.
I'm going.
We talked all about it. Yeah, we got a full program on that, Nick.
Lee J. Geary, Ryan Shotton was very good. Oh yeah.
He came from Stoke, didn't he, Ryan Shotton?
Middlesbrough.
Yeah, right. He played for Stoke, didn't he, Ryan Shotton?
Yeah.
Hey!
Well done, Nick. If you went through enough teams, I'm sure you'd get it.
I'm so sorry. It's genuinely, guys. It's not my fault. It's just the way my head's built. That's it.
Your talents are on the way. In other areas, mate. You're a front man.
We can't all be good at everything.
You're a front man. Stick to it.
Nick, you've got the memory of a paperclip.
What about Ridgewell from Adam Walsh?
Ridgewell.
For me, Ridgewell was. I wasn't sure about him at centre half, but left back he was really good.
Left back he was top.
Chipped in a few goals, well, didn't he?
Yeah.
It's fair to say, based on the numbers, it's well ahead. Ablett's well ahead. Yeah.
Gary Ablett. God bless you. Rest in peace, sunshine. Yeah. Wow.
Another one for Vince Overson, actually, as well. It must be closing in.
And there's another one just coming for Dave Barnett as well.
Yeah.
As well.
Keep him coming for Dave. He signed for West Brom out of Parks Football.
Did he?
Yeah, because I know the team he played for. He literally went from Sunday morning football to the Albion, and then we signed him later on. Yeah.
We signed him from Barnett, didn't we? Barnett,
Look, picture this, right? You're a human being, yeah? And you've got a wife and perhaps 1 or 2 children, struggling to pay your bills and looking at that. and you say to your missus, look, I'm going out to play football. And she goes, well, yeah, it's going to cost petrol. It's going to... And then a week later, you're playing for West Bromwich Albion. That is off the scale, mad, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Paul, do we feel...
But then all of a sudden, you're playing for Birmingham City and you've come back down to that level where you were playing Sunday League football.
Yeah. Craig wants to come in.
I was just going to say, Paul, do we fill both of the centre-half positions today? Because we could do based on the votes.
Okay, yeah, if you want to. Yeah, we could do. But just 1 week less.
Now, we'll do some subs.
Yeah. Pete Taylor's with us as well. Big Dave Barney. Former star because he was a kickboxer as well, yeah. Yeah. Stephen Paul Lillard's not a bad shout. He was good for us.
Steve Caldwell, yeah.
I think Curtis Davies next to him. Somebody did say him. But I think he was a Rolls Royce, wasn't he? I think he did get the credit he deserved.
Yeah, he did, yeah. And you know what? You see Curtis on Sky Sports and you go, no, he's been on the Tilton Talk Show.
Yeah.
Get in!
Trevor Matthewson says Ray.
Trevor Matthewson was a great player, a real proper hard nut. He would go in for anything.
Matheson and Martin at the back, yeah.
So should we do both then, or should we just do one? I think we should just do the one and then do it next week.
Yeah, no, do the one, Paul, because
we'll have to go through the subs, won't we?
Yeah.
Do the one, because in 10 weeks' time, we'll have nothing else to talk about.
And then we'll probably go for an underrated manager as well.
Oh, it's going to be interesting, isn't it?
Right, okay, leave that underrated captain. We'll do the week after we've got the 11. Underrated manager. We'll do the week after that.
Alex McLeish.
Oi, after. Bearded.
We can do the underrated squad thing as well.
Yeah.
Underrated supporter.
Underrated ball boy.
Underrated toilet.
Yeah.
Underrated pie.
Underrated female supporter, Linda.
We'll count the votes up at the end then for one, Craig. Is that all right?
Oh my God, this is crispy. Right, I've got to say a massive thank you to the lovely Linda, our auntie Linda. She came over for the weekend, Friday and Saturday. And
you owe some money?
No, mate, that little lad is grown into such a wonderful little child. You know what? He is absolutely lovely. And his dad Ben came over as well, which was beautiful. They spent the night here. We had a great time. Unfortunately, I had to go to work early Saturday morning last week. You know, we could have made a couple of days of it. But Linda, thank you so much. Like, wow, you're so welcome here anytime. I promise you, you've done so much for all the charities and for Jack and. Hashtag Jack's got friends.
Yeah. Everyone at Excessive Blues, actually, they've all done. Fantastic.
They're just lovely people, Chris. Absolutely love them. Yeah.
Here's a fantastic question.
Yeah.
The underrated Tilton Talk Show guest. Underrated. It's going to be difficult, actually.
What?
Oh God, we've got to offend somebody.
It depends, actually. Some people
actually no, it's underrated, not overrated, isn't it?
Underrated, yes. I mean, we have had some guests on that I thought, this ain't going to be that, and they've turned out, wow, one of the best shows ever. Absolutely.
Chris,
I don't know, some of the stories.
I remember all of them.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, for me, I think it took us a while to get Nicky Eden, because Nicky Eden was a bit, I wouldn't say he was nervous, but I don't think he'd ever done anything like this before, had he? And, it took us a good sort of 15, 20 minutes to get him going, but when we did get him going, he was great.
And a great sense of humour, so dry.
His sense of humour, hadn't he? Hasn't he? He's a funny bloke, actually.
Right. He is very funny.
Sorry, I'm having so many back spasms. My one is going to be Robbie Savage. And the reason it's going to be Robbie Savage is because everybody was going to rip him a new piece of his backside. Yeah. And then when he came on and humbly bowed down and said, it wasn't right. I wasn't a man. I did it wrong. I'm sorry. Yeah. But the only reason I moved was because of my childhood hero, who was,
Mark Hughes.
You. I knew that. It was my childhood hero. And he said it was 10 grand a week. Well, what would you do?
Exactly.
Right?
I think that show panned out better than I thought it was going to pan out. That's what I mean, yeah.
Nobody ripped him after that. Everybody just joined in with the show, right? And we're asking him questions. We're having the crack, having the laugh. And he turned around and said, the only thing I would love to do, and I'm probably never going to be able to do this, is walk on to St Andrews and turn around and clap each and every single one of you because you are superb. You're superb. Paul Devlin was listening, and I hope Paul's listening tonight because this hasn't happened yet. Paul said, I'll get it sorted. I'll organise it.
Yeah. Ricky Otto was an amazing...
and this is a great nomination from Michael Woods. Michael Woods?
he had a nightmare at squad game as well, didn't he?
He did.
Yeah,
he did.
Yeah.
Chris, just on the Accessi Blues side of things, so I'll do a shout out based on today's message, if that's all right.
Go on.
Our friends at Accessi Blues have teamed up with other sponsors of the club, especially for the ladies in Zoo. And they have very kindly donated tickets for games at St Andrews against any of the teams for the ladies across the rest of this season for us to give away. So we have 4 tickets for each of the women's games, and we'll be looking at ways to distribute those. Let's not forget, first game this coming Sunday. So they've had a great pre-season, unbeaten. Let's see if they can go on a promotion push now. So thank you to Accessi.
Chris Browne, really important now. Okay, where are the 2 tickets going to this week from our wonderful sponsors?
We can't tell you that, Nick.
Why?
It's a secret.
Why?
Because it's a secret.
The game's on tomorrow.
We can't. We can't. They know they're going.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair enough. As long as like it's been sorted and organised.
No, it's all sorted, and we have to. We have to thank Hollywood Monster for
absolutely
all the good
Hollywood
work.
Monster.
Absolutely
Superb.
Fantastic. Yeah.
What a place!
Yeah, so if people don't know, we in conjunction with Hollywood Monster, we give away 2 tickets to
which have been supplied by Hollywood Monster. Really important that we say that. Yeah.
Yep. God. Yeah. To a lot of unfortunate people who wouldn't necessarily get to go to a game. So thank you to Hollywood Monster for that. Fantastic, brilliant. We're really well appreciated.
No, and some of the stories we've had have been so touching. You know, it's going to people that really wouldn't have been able to go to the game. So it's a massive thing. Also gets people back into St Andrews, you know, so it's a great thing overall. So well done, everyone, as well.
I want to give your nephew a shout out, Chris, because I'm travelling 6 hours there, road trip to watch the match tomorrow night from holiday. To leave holiday, and you're getting the train journey 3 hours there, 3 hours back. Must be where he is, but that's a long way, isn't it?
Who's that?
Oliver.
Oh, Oliver, 6 hours round trip,
Yeah. Stephen Gill said, and Katrin Berger will always be my favourite interview on the Tilton Talk Show. Underrated interview, Marcello. And Katrin Berger, what an amazing woman. You know, overcoming cancer, not only over beating cancer, getting back on the football field, and Mr. Fun missed that penalty against
Michael Woods here says Wayne Ellington was brilliant, but I think he means Wayne Elcock.
Wayne Elcock, the boxer. That was a good one. That was a good one.
Okay, we're into the last 15 minutes, and ladies and gents, girls and boys, I've had a really busy weekend, so I haven't caught up with what we're going to do. If you haven't got anything, guys, I've got something. So what's the last 15 minutes going to be tonight?
We have got something sorted, haven't we?
Go for it then.
Mark, Craig?
It's going to be anything to do with football and weather. So as the weather's been so good,
football and the weather,
football and the weather.
Yeah. What's that? What was your name?
Hotter. No, you can't.
Every damn week that comes up.
Straight in, that is. Straight in. You can't have that.
Somebody's song.
Son, Young Sung Min.
There you go. Yep, that would do.
Or Young Min's son.
He hasn't got a clue who that is.
Said it anyway.
That's number 13 on my Chinese list, haven't you, mate?
About John Rain instead of John Frame.
Yeah, John Rain.
Yeah, we'll go for John Rain. Yeah.
Okay, so we got Wayne Rooney.
Rain Rooney.
Howard Gale.
I like that one. Yeah. Howard
John
Gale.
Rain. Hurricane.
What about David Holdsworth?
David what?
Yes.
David what?
David
Cold.
Coldsworth.
Cold. I hope you haven't played high or lower this week.
Limbs.
Well,
Limbs.
lower. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, we haven't done that.
Oh, Craig. Craig,
I haven't got that
get
one
sorted for
today, but
next
I'm going to add in a bit of a double play on words here in Claudio
Ranieri. Why didn't I think of that?
Claudio Ranieri, yeah.
Oh, somebody's just said Claudio.
It should have been
Claudia.
Claudia and Rainier. Claudia and Rainier.
That's the one made from Paul Lilly, Bernard's son.
Bernard's son. Yeah.
Bernard's
Very
son.
good.
Love it.
Michael Wood says, on my first appearance on the show, I asked Steve Caldwell 2 questions that no one would have asked. He was superb, very honest and very forthcoming. I was a bit tongue-tied at first, as he's one of my favourite players of his era
Who was this?
at the Blues. It was Michael Woods talking about Steve Caldwell.
yeah.
That was a good show.
I thought it was us to start with. That's why he was starstruck to start with. But then, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's obviously me, you know.
Stephen Caldwell came on a bit late, didn't he? If you remember, and he was a bit starstruck before he came on. Anyway.
Yeah. He was a bit tongue-tied. Yeah, a bit dry mouth. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Come on. Weather, ladies and gentlemen, and football. Weather and football.
So we've got the Stadium of Lightning.
Oh.
Andy Cold. We've got Bernard's son again. Lee Damp.
In the middle of our goal. Lee Damp. In
Steve
the middle
Kitten.
of our cold.
Eric 10 Wetbag.
Wetback.
What the bejesus was that one?
Is that a fish?
Snow Gallagher.
Snow Gallagher.
I actually quite like that. I quite like that. Yeah.
What about Rainy Tolly?
Bertie Cold. Sun Hong Min. I can't read that one, but he didn't like it. Kieran Slipper. Slippier. Kieran Slippier.
Kieran Slippier.
Oh, on the ice. Yeah, I've got it. Yeah.
We need to go to predictions. We've only got 10 minutes left, so predictions for the next game.
Can I start by saying 1-1? And I think Troy might score against the old team.
Wouldn't that be?
I'm going to be going Saturday as well. Do Saturday as well, Wigan.
Yeah, let's do Saturday as well, yeah.
Okay. Oh, sorry.
Who we got Saturday?
Home to Wigan. So I think we'll draw tomorrow, and I think we'll beat Wigan 2-0.
I'm going to go 0-2 to Watford tomorrow, and then 1-0 against Wigan.
I'm going to go 2-1 tomorrow night to Blues, and I'm going to go 1-0 against Wigan. I think we're going to get 6 points, and then I'm going to
6 points.
We're going to win.
Oh, top of the league. So we are top of the league.
I'd love to see Troy score tomorrow.
Go on, Alan.
Well, I'm sorry to pour a damper on this, but we've never, ever, as long as I can remember, ever won 2 home games in the same week. The best we ever do is a win and a draw. So I'll go 1-1 tomorrow, 1-0 Saturday.
Okay.
And I think we did it.
I fancy 1-0 tomorrow, 1-0 on Saturday.
Oh, I'm not being funny, Chris, but was that your own personal?
That was a real one. That was sorry, Craig. I missed what you said, Craig.
Sorry, Craig. I'm so sorry, mate.
Go on, Craig. Somebody butted in.
I fancy just 1-0 on both of this game.
You get it, but
somebody
on Craig,
please. Craig for the third time.
1-0 tomorrow, 1-0 on Saturday, and Hogan gets both of them. And I've just got to put it out there. I think Pete Taylor has really been thinking about his weather business because his Sleater Unlove is brilliant.
Oh yeah.
Unlove wins it every week. He always finds some way to get his name in it.
What about
okay. What we're going to do next week, Alan, is Bob Marley on football. It'll be Unlove.
What about John Gale?
Yeah,
Johnny
Gale. Johnny Gale.
I think somebody's out.
Kick.
Oh yeah, we've had
Right,
Howard.
what
We've had
about
Howard
Muggy
Gale.
Freeman? Muggy Freeman into the doggy.
Yeah.
Muggy.
Yeah, we get it. We get it.
Yeah,
right,
I think we need a bit of a whack for that one.
Oh, I haven't got the whack.
Either that or a big fart.
Sorry.
A big
Oh, I have. I like this one. This is a cracker. Vince Overcast son.
Somebody has actually sat down and thought about that with a pen and paper.
Yeah. No, Otter is banned. I'm sorry. The word JOTA is banned. Andy Cole. We've got Barry Hailstones, Bruno Martins Windy, Sunjahai.
What about David Sullivan?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that one. Yeah, didn't make me wet myself. I like it.
No, not mate. No, pretty poor actually. In fact, it was rubbish.
You could say David and Ralph Cold as well, couldn't you? Instead of Gold.
Oh, you could, yes.
Yeah. What are people's early thoughts on John Eustace? Then I think he comes across well, doesn't he, when he's in?
Yeah, very confident chap. Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Sorry, for me, interviews are pointless. Game time is key. Right?
Yeah.
Get it right on the pitch, and then we'll listen to your decent interview afterwards. But you've got to get it right on the pitch first.
Yeah. Well, that's, we've had what? Well, we've lost one game, haven't we? Including the League Cup. Then we've lost one game in 4. So not a bad start. Like you said at the start of the show, Chris. 4 points at the start of the season isn't 4 points from 9 isn't that bad, is it really?
No.
I'm going to go for. I'm going to go
7 weeks as well.
Sorry, Craig. What you said?
He's still. He's only been there 7 weeks.
Mate, I know.
So
do you know what?
Do
you know what? We're Birmingham City fans, and we've been frustrated for 11 goddamn years. Yeah, and we want something to happen. And isn't it? Johnny Hale, by the way. Johnny Hale. Johnny Hale.
That's tumbleweed, that was.
Right, Chris. What does Alan think about the beard?
She hadn't noticed. She hadn't noticed.
Oh, Chrissy.
Really?
Yeah. What beard? Oh!
I just whitewashed my face.
You both leave them for a while. You could do your own like ZZ Top tribute act. Or
Yeah.
She's got legs.
I know, Hopefully, in a few weeks' time, it'll cover up most of it. So there you go.
I like the fact that we're
No, Chris. Hopefully, in a few weeks' time, we'd have won 10 games on the thick and trot, and you'd checked it off.
Can anybody see that happening?
I quite like the fact that we're, I don't like it, but I think it could work. It could be reverse psychology that because we're favourites to go down, that could work out. Because it'll give the players more determination to prove people wrong, won't it, as well, and the manager?
Yeah, I'll get it. Yeah.
Comes across that way.
Yeah.
You'd happy to do a Luke, wouldn't you? I mean, Luton were talked about as relegation fodder this time last year, weren't they?
Yeah.
Especially when we beat them 5-0.
Yeah.
And
Do we think
look what they did, and look what Forest did. Look what Forest did. They were in the bottom 3.
Look what Forest did yesterday.
Yeah.
They won their first Premier League game yesterday.
Yeah. Do we think
Lico's got any sort of future?
No. I think it was just brought on for the comedy element. Wasn't he?
Off the bench. He's a bench player for me.
Yeah.
What he gives us is pace. Obviously, he gets us up the pitch a lot quicker. But just needs to work on. When he gets the ball, he just needs to work on making right decisions better when he's got it.
So, that was a stunning goal against Norwich, wasn't it? The cup game.
There is something there. There is something there, but it's just getting it out of it.
Any more on the weather, guys? Any more on the weather?
I think he's a massive confidence player. He's a massive confidence player. Any level, I think.
Yeah. So we got.
Nigel... No, I've got it. I've busted it. Right, this is going to break the internet. Are you ready? Are you ready? I want to count down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hurricane.
Oh, very good. Yeah.
Hurricane.
I hate to tell you, Nick, but we've had that one.
I was given about 20 minutes ago.
It was about 20 minutes ago.
That Mark was the only person that gave me a countdown. The rest of the team said, "Oh, Christ, we can't do this." Oh,
Sharon, take him away.
do you know what?
Please.
If it wasn't for a Monday night, sitting here having a laugh about our football club and about each other and the antics that we get up to in the week and one thing and another, life wouldn't be worth living, mate. I promise you, because I love this with all my heart. I love the people that I work with. Mark, that was me down there. All right, and I'll go. Craig, Mr. Savant. I mean, what an absolute bloke! What a bloke! He did me 10. Was it 10-1, Chris? Did somebody cheat or not? Was it always?
No, I'm sorry. You definitely only got one. No, you got none.
Okay, I'm scrubbing him off my list.
that was England San Marino. Wasn't it the last one they played? 10-0.
That's what we were
There's me.
Michael Woods is saying Lecco is underrated.
Well, I'd certainly say that, yeah.
And there's me praising up the team, and they just take me down yet again. But it's brilliant, and this is what it is.
For those people who read my article, I really want to reiterate, I ain't got a downer on the kid. I just think he's not good enough for what we're asking him to do.
How long are we talking about? Quick.
Lecco. I mean, we got rid of him twice, and he's still there. And with the greatest respect, is he going to come on Saturday and change the game? No, he's not.
What if he does?
Well, he's had 42 chances to change the game, and he hasn't done it once. You know, people say, give him a chance. 42 times he's played. He's got one goal.
I've probably had a whole lot more than that on this show, mate, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Would we rather have him over Chuck Anike that we sort of offloaded back to Charlton as well?
No, it's chucking it down Anike.
Chucking it down Anike. That's the winner. Yeah.
Anyway, guys, it's 8:00, Nick.
It is 8:00, ladies and
us
gentlemen.
out,
You know what? Wow, for an hour and a half on a Monday night, we've had an absolute blast. It's been a laugh. We've put smiles on people's faces, and you put a smile on my face as well. And that's very difficult, ladies and gents. Very, very difficult indeed. Because I'm now married.
Yeah.
Adam, 5 seconds to answer that question. Yes or no? Would you rather have Lecco over Anike?
Anike, he scored in his second game, not his 42nd game.
I'd have Lecco purely for pace because we haven't got any.
So you said Lee Camp.
Well, there you go, ladies and gents. This has been the Tilton Talk Show, sponsored by Boyle Sports. With the one and only my dearest friend, the Savant, who thrashed me 10-0 tonight, and I will strangle him next time I say, no, I'll give him credit and a little trophy. Paul Hipkiss.
Woo!
Pleasure as always. Good night, all.
Oh, you're an absolutely amazing guy. I mean that, mate. Wow. If only I had your memory, I'd be better than you.
Useless information.
And then, of course, we've got the one and only Mr. Mark Andrew Adams. Thanks, matey. 17 years with you're not even married. Go and talk to the priest. Go and talk to Jesus. Ask for forgiveness, right?
We hate you.
Go and get the job done.
Yeah.
Get the job done, right?
Why can't you be as miserable as the rest of us?
You simply cannot put, it's my anniversary today. Well, you're not even married. You're not even married. Do it. Sort it out. I'm going to talk to the lady myself personally.
All right, then. Do you know where she is?
Next week's show coincides with my 49th wedding anniversary.
Whoa.
Wow.
You poor bloke.
She might be listening. Be careful.
Here comes the music, Nick.
We used to have to lick road clean with tongue when I was a child. And then we're going to course Alan Watt and Kevin on the board. Love you loads, mate. Bless you.
Good night, everybody.
49 years.
Get used to it now.
Mr. Fixer, who's the next guest?
We're still working on dates. We've got people lined up.
Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for joining us. You've been listening to
Our people are talking to their people.
We are. We're talking. We're growing.
With you guys, and you know what?
Shout out for tomorrow night, Nick. Good friend of the show who's joined us on a couple of occasions. Ricky Otto's on the pitch pre the game and also at half time. So let's support him down at St Andrews.
Absolutely. Yeah, too right. And well, you know what? 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 5 images there, and I'm not a blokey bloke. I don't play golf. But these guys, I promise you, are the best friends I have in life, along with Auntie Linda, Little Jack, and all of those special, beautiful people. Dan the Blues, Chris Browne.
Good evening.
He hasn't done it. Round of applause. Well done, Chris. You've done it.
A whole night. But I guarantee he has used the bucket. Ladies and gents, what an absolute pleasure.
We'll support you till the end of